There are benefits to rendering this router directly over the authenticated app, but there's also a benefit to co-locating our global context providers in a single place. And so rather than rendering our context providers right here, I'm actually going to create a single component that will be responsible for rendering all of the global providers for our app. And we're going to put that in the source context directory. So here we're going to make a function called app providers. This is going to accept the children prop. And then we're going to return all of the providers for our app. So let's grab these two providers, copy those, return this, and instead of the app, we'll render the children. And then we're going to need the configuration and other things for that. So let's copy that, put it right here. And we no longer need the app. We won't need React Router DOM. We don't want to import Bootstrap or the DevTools, just the stuff relevant for our providers. And then we can export app providers right here. And let's also bring in the router. So we'll grab the browser router and stick it right there. And then we'll render the router right here. And now we can go here and get rid of all of this config. We can get rid of the auth provider, the React query provider, and then we can import the app providers from context. And we'll render this app inside of our app providers. And then over here, we no longer need to render the router because that's being rendered further up in the tree. And this is what our app looks like now. And here's what our React DOM render looks like. And we've been able to put all of our configuration for our global providers in a single location. Let's make sure everything's working. Looks like we've got a module resolution issue. And that's because we moved this import statement into the context directory. So we no longer have it right there. We're just going to grab it as a next door neighbor to this module. And here everything is still working. So in review, what we did is we took the router from our app module. We moved it into this app providers. We took our global context providers from our entry file here in the index and moved those to this app provider, as well as all the config for these providers. And then we exported that app provider component, and we were able to clean up our React DOM render call.